Himself a ghost.
He found a way back from the beach just so he could kill us.
He said he came back to get revenge on you and me. Hey, brother.
Ha! Told you they were brothers. Hi! So you may have noticed that about a week ago, the new Death Stranding 2 trailer dropped. I also uploaded my Death Stranding Iceberg Theory. I re-uploaded my Death Stranding Iceberg Theory on the same day. And there was a little bit of strategery in that. You know, I've been trying to understand the algorithms better. I've also had the trailer on a loop for the entire week. So let's get started with just a rundown of my current Death Stranding 1 theories, as well as my current Death Stranding 2 theories. And then we'll look at how all of them were impacted by the trailer. If you haven't seen my Iceberg Theory that I uploaded when the trailer went up, I'll put a link in the description. Go watch that if you're interested. But here is what is in that theory. First, that Death Stranding is an iceberg and that, you know, we've only played the tip of the iceberg in terms of what's actually there in Death Stranding. That there's a global cooperation puzzle in Death Stranding. You have to use the Strand contract system, the post boxes, and awkward talking with people on the internet to facilitate a faster distribution of your packages. And there's a whole puzzle involved with that, involving the Kipu and the Dreamcatcher. I have my best version of that, of the solution, or what I think the solution to that puzzle is, in that Death Stranding Iceberg video. I do plan, however, to put that solution in more videos just so people don't have to constantly go dig for it, but it's there if you want to go look at it. And so those are the big, like, overarching theories that, you know, kind of are at the center of everything. But in terms of like story and in terms of like specifics about what I think my theory gets right that other people get wrong, first is that the sun in Death Stranding is a black hole. This is essential to understanding the game. 2, Lou is Sam's real child. It's not just some random BB. It is Sam's real daughter. Lucy is the 5 floating figures. I didn't really talk about that much in the Iceberg Theory video, but the film Lucy is the story of Lucy in Death Stranding. And there's other reasons I believe that, but they involve Metal Gear Solid, and I'm trying to stay, you know, tight-lipped on all my thoughts on that so other people can explore that. The whole game is an adaptation of the myth of Osiris and the Book of the Dead from ancient Egyptian mythology. And in exploring Death Stranding 1 and trying to formulate my theories and solidify them, I've also come to the conclusion that Alan Wake 2 is a Strand game. It's like a literary analysis Strand game. I'm going to do a whole video on it. And Death Stranding and Remedy games and Kojima, the Kojimaverse and Remedyverse, they are sort of entangled in a multi-franchise ARG that involves Spider-Man and basically a bunch of Sony for first-party franchises and several third-party franchises like Remnant 2. And Starfield, which I have had the chance to play a little bit, and I fucking love Starfield. I fucking love Bethesda games. People need to stop talking shit about Bethesda games. I don't get it. Anyway, no, I do get it. That's the problem. So those are my Death Stranding 1 theories. And here are my Death Stranding 2 theories prior to seeing the new trailer. First, I predict that we will engage in large-scale construction, that the construction would be massive. If you've seen my Death Stranding Iceberg Theory, you know why. You know that I think that the scale of the game is much larger than we've seen, and I think Death Stranding 2 will just be even bigger. The next thing was superconductors seem to be really important to the new Kipu. And the big difference between having superconductors and not having superconductors is robotics. And I predicted that we were going to have much more combat-focused gameplay, not in place of everything else, but just alongside, and that we would be fighting those bots. I also predicted that Death Stranding would be a rhythm game. And there was a number of reasons for this, but the first was, A, Higgs has a guitar, but even more importantly, in Death Stranding 1, basically all of Kojima's games are represented in one way or another, but not Beatmania. And also not the dating sim that's listed on his Wikipedia, but I don't necessarily have any clear evidence that that's represented in DS2, so who knows? Maybe it will be. And then story-wise, I said that I believed, like we explore ancient Egyptian mythology in Death Stranding 1, in Death Stranding 2, we will explore Shintoism and ancient Asian mythology. And we'll kind of, instead of going through the kind of ancient Egyptian version of hell, which is called the Duat, we'll be experiencing Yomi. which is the Shinto version of hell. And just as the characters in Death Stranding 1 mirror the characters in ancient Egyptian mythology, the same would be true of the characters for Death Stranding 2. And that we will be fighting a huge variety of essentially mecha kami. So with that in mind, let's look at the new trailer and see how those theories were impacted. Basically, all of my Death Stranding 1 theories are fine. There are a couple of things that I don't have explanations for and potentially could damage aspects of my theory, but nothing damages it fully. So as far as my Death Stranding 2 theories go, I think I fucking nailed it with some of these. Nothing was impacted negatively. The one that I think is best supported by the new trailer is that Death Stranding will be a rhythm game. In the Reddit post I did about it, I talked about how my preferred implementation of this would be that Higgs would be a playable character. We would use that Mecha Strandberg thing he's got, and we would fight the mechs, the bots. I still think that's totally possible, especially because I think that the overall story is going to be very favorable to Higgs in the end, which I'll talk about. Regarding the large-scale construction, I think this is also further supported by the DS2 trailer. It seems like the terrain can be changed pretty dramatically. Buildings are now destructible, so you'd have to go around and repair them, pretty much en masse. If one of those big rock slides happened and just took out a whole bunch of your zip lines and your safe houses and stuff, you'd have to go repair them. But could you imagine having to repair all of those on foot in environments that giant fucking enormous? Like, let's just look at these environments just for a second. Like, look at the overall depth of this image. And let's just imagine that, Sam is right there and he puts a zip line right there. Where is the next closest zip line gonna be? Maybe here on this ridge here? Seriously doubt it'll span over to this part. And then you can see what is the entire central region map times 2 off in the distance. And then that just leads to another hill. And that's just one environment, one POV. Each one of these maps that we see, each one of these biomes we see looks like it could be its own central region map. The one I'm the most curious about is the desert biome, because it kind of raises a lot of questions like, will there be requirements for the foundations that you place buildings on? Will your upgraded buildings, be able to overcome some of the specific difficulties of building in a very sandy terrain like that? Will there be roads? And with all of this increased scale, you could imagine having to do all of that on foot, having to manage everything that you can fit on just what we've seen in this second trailer. Imagine all the buildings that you could put there. Imagine all the post boxes you could fit. And then imagine having to maintain all of that on foot. That just doesn't make sense to me. And since we see something in the trailer that has a gigantic crane and the little chiral printer eyeball thing, I think I was right about large-scale construction. Now, superconductors. Superconductors theory is, it would be hard to beat at this point. It would be hard to prove wrong. If you never watched my DS2 predictions video, that was one of my main predictions, was that because there were equations for superconductors listed on the Cupid, that really the only explanation for the prominence of superconductors is for robotics. And then we saw the robots in the background, and I predicted that we would be fighting them and that they would be big and diverse and scary. And that is indeed what we're doing. I need to improve it. I really need to build on it. It's almost obvious at this point that that's what the purpose of superconductors is in the game. The Asian mythology theme got a real shot in the arm, real obvious shot in the arm with the presence of the Bunraku mode for the Fatih Akin character. So, in conclusion, my theories are all correct. I am a genius. I am right about everything. I feel good. I feel good that my theories seem unaffected, improved, supported, better, more supported by this. But with that said, now I'd like to talk about where I'm going. Like I said, this is an introductory video, so I'm going to tell you what to expect from the rest of my theories. That way they're kind of all out there in one video and we can actually talk about them on the Discord or whatever. So the following are all of my theories and questions kind of in a jumble, because I'm just going to talk about them as they come into my head. First theory, Howell's moving castle will be central to understanding the plot of Death Stranding 2. It was one of the movies that I listed in the screen. At the very end of my Iceberg Theory, I listed a number of films that I thought were important to go watch if you want to theorize about DS2 with me. Howl's floating castle was the number one, mainly because, you know, there was a fucking floating castle in in the trailer, like right fucking there. So, but now I have no shadow of a doubt. I have no doubt in my mind that Howl's moving castle will be central to the plot. Higgs is essentially Howl, and I'm gonna that will be my next video talking about that. There'll be a theme of rings that means something big in Death Stranding. The theme of rings. We will wrangle chiral creatures. There'll be kind of like a chiral creature rancher, you know, mode or something like that in Death Stranding. Kind of like a Monster Hunter thing, but I don't think we'll necessarily kill them. I mean, we will. There'll be ones we kill, catchers and stuff. But like the winged cat, I think that's a creature that you could, you know, use as like a familiar, and maybe you'd have other creatures that would do other things for you. And I also think that Lou is many of the characters in the trailers. I think this is Lou, and this is Lou, and this is Lou, and this is Lou, and this is Lou. And the rest are questions that I have. And these are the questions that I will be exploring until the release of Death Stranding 2 on my channel. So I will be trying to have a full story prediction, trying to account for absolutely everything in the trailers before the game releases. That'll be my goal. First question, a frivolous question, but I'm still curious. Who else is in Higgs' band?
Pathetic guitarist, where's the rest of your band?
Will it be other characters? Will there be as yet unknown characters that will be part of his band? I really want to dig deep into the shifting power and control going on in the UCA and APAC and all that. Why was the UCA dissolved? When did Mexico come into the network? Who is controlling the chiral network now? Is it APAC? Could be APAC. I want to know who the drawbridge patron is, but I think I know. It's Higgs. I'm telling you, it's Higgs. It's Howl Higgs, not Crow Higgs. Where is the beach and what the heck is going on with it? If you check out my Iceberg Theory, you'll know that I feel like I know what the beach is. The beach is Amelie, is the moon, is, you know, it's a bunch of different things. But what's happening with it now? What's happening with Amelie? Amelie is the beach. Amelie is the chiral network. So what, who, does somebody have control over it? What's going on there? And that's it. This is what I'm going to be exploring in videos coming up. If you'd like to explore along, if you have your own theories, if you have even crazier theories, if you have stuff to share, I'm trying my best to build a community where that is not only allowed, but supported and encouraged. And remember what I said in the beginning about Alan Wake 2 and the Remedyverse stuff. I actually just got Control and I just started playing it, and I blew my own fucking mind when I found out that these two are brother and sister. Holy fuck, these two are brothers and sister? I didn't fucking know that. Story makes less sense, maybe? But I'm playing it, I'll get through it. I also got Alan Wake 1. I don't have Alan Wake 2 yet. I will get it though, and I will play it. And then any of these other games. If you're interested in any of these games and you want to theorize, go to r/Bridges3. Everything is connected. Bye. Well.
Hi, and welcome to the Solus Incentives. To stay to the end of the video. There's nothing here for you. Thanks for watching.